And when I think about people doing buffoonish shit for attention more than anybody else, this is the person that comes to mind.
You might not believe in God, but God believes in you. It's not a battle you can win.
I love Jesus Christ. I love Christianity. I fear and love God. When you remove the fear and love of God, you create the fear and love of everything else. You're talking to somebody right now that only fears God, and Jesus has won the victory, bro.
Are you in that space where you're comfortable enough to say, this is where I am right now? I'm still a man of God. Jesus still is king, but this is vultures right now. This is where I am.
I have my issues with Jesus. There's a lot of stuff I went through that I prayed and I didn't see Jesus show up. I had to put my experience in this world, my experience with my children, my experience with other people, my experience with my account, my experience with my brand, and my experience with the level of music that I was dealing with in my own hands. Because I'm God. And anyone who disagree, I'm the God of me. And you can't tell me who I am. I'm the God of me.
Why say fuck Virgil after he passed? It feels like you still have a little bit of animosity there.
I'm evil.
You don't think about like his family and other people that love him?
I am an evil person.
So yeah, unfortunately, you have some people like Kanye, used to be a giant in hip hop. I felt at one time, he was one of the greatest entities in the history of hip hop, and even just his old stuff alone may still, to some people have him in that conversation. But then he started with all these antics, and he's just been on this antics tirade that just doesn't stop for the past, I want to say 7 or 8 years or so. The last Kanye West concert I went to was the Life of Pablo tour, and we walked out, we left. He kept ranting on stage, and people say that he's mentally ill. I told y'all before, I don't believe it. He may be. You understand what I'm saying? But again, if you're mentally ill, you should be focused on getting help, and I would think, because he talks a lot about the handlers and the people around him, the people who send him to go, for me, I don't recognize this Kanye or acknowledge him. Exactly. Sister Janae is like, yo, I don't know who this cat, I don't get who's this your man's, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to you, sister. I mean, the guy is unrecognizable. And what annoys me more than anything is his fans. Like, he has this cult following of people that just refuse to call him out for anything to this day. When you start running around talking about how you are God, you are your own God, and nobody can tell you because you're the God of you and all. No, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a problem, because that is part and parcel of what they teach in the Church of Satan. They teach self-worship. For those that don't know, people think they teach you to worship Satan. No, they teach you to worship yourself. And that bullshit he just said on that clip is fresh out of the teachings of Aleister Crowley, for those that know. You understand? And when you start getting into shit like that, now that's something else, and I really, really feel bad for Kanye. If he is mentally ill, I really pray that he gets the help he needs. But again, like I've said with other people in the past, when you keep putting this stuff out there and infecting other people, that's when I got a problem with you, because it's not like Bobby says all the time, it's not a victimless crime. You just coming out here talking all this reckless shit is not a victimless crime. You are harming other people with your toxicity, and it's like Sister Janae said, I don't recognize this man. And he used to be so profound and so dear to the community. It's really heartbreaking to watch. What y'all say, man?
Well, like I say, I can separate the two when it comes to artists, their craft, and who that individual person is. I college dropout. I love that. I think that's one of the
we all do. Yes.
Most powerful CDs that actually has been very impactful in my life. Mm-hmm. Me and my brother even got closer when I sent him that song Big Brother from the album on over time. I don't know. Is that college dropout or that was another one?
That's not college dropout. I think that's
no,
late
not college.
registration.
Yeah, I think late registration. I think so. One of the two. But I sent them that, that Kanye song actually made me and my brother real close because it was me acknowledging my brother, admiring him through the lyrics and stuff like that, like how he was admiring Jay-Z. So I can say that part of my life was very much impacted by that Kanye from the early ages. Kanye, people got to understand how powerful Black women are. And that's why it hurts my heart to see that we are at gender war for so long with Black women, Black men and Black women, and Black women with Black men, is because we need each other. And the prime example of that is his mother. His mother was his rock, his backbone. She was the one who made him sane. When he was off his rockers, she was alive, she would straighten him out without even straightening him out publicly. You know what I'm saying? So it was things like that came into play that a lot of people don't even recognize or realize. But once you lose that, when he got his mom to surgery and she eventually passed away, God forbid that happen, man. I wouldn't want nobody to wish that on my worst enemy, to lose your mother, especially trying to do something for her and it end up being a result while she's not here no more. And that plays a big burden on a lot of people. Sometimes people never be the same after a parent, especially your mother, pass away like that. And he hasn't been the same since. So mentally, he's always had a mental disorder. He's been diagnosed with it from birth. So him being off his rockers, that is factual that he is mentally in that state of mind. But at the same time, you have crackheads out here that are crackheads that a lot of people don't even know they're crackheads because they're full functional, right? So you have this guy with this disorder that's full functional, but also at the same time, so you could tell by the way he speaks and the way he's doing things that he's not in his right mind state. So you don't have nobody around you to pull you like that, because all you do is you push away friends because you have this self-sufficient ideology and you don't have nobody there holding you accountable. So now you have all the money, all the power, and no friends, and now you don't have people that's going to tell you the right things in order for you to be back on the right track. And now you're spiraling out of control, and that's just what it is. Now I land my plane.
Pitiful. Go ahead, Bobby. What you got?
No, I'm on the same boat with Ant for that, man. Every time I see Kanye, all I can do, it's not even an active thing. It's just a reaction. I just shake my head by default, because I see a brother who really was destined for greatness as far as music goes. And I know some people might think that's a wild take that you have, Ant, but I agree with that wholeheartedly. Kanye, if not for his mental mishaps, might very well, when it was all said and done, have ended up being arguably the greatest figure in hip hop, if for no other reason than because he did it at both levels. We've never seen someone be an amazing, legendary producer, and some of the songs that he's behind, the writing, the creativity, the beat production, everything that he put together, just sheer inspiration, generational talent. But then also showing that he also has the lyrical skills as well, where he's able to hold himself up there with a lot of other big heads. It's rare to get the two of those together. I see you protesting a little bit, Major. It's all good. Kanye had some bars.
Kanye had writers. Kanye got a lot of writers. Ask Consequence. But go ahead, finish your point.
Probably. But nowadays, a lot of them do that. The list kind of blown off the top of that. So a lot of the folks that we thought was really up there really ain't up there, to be honest. So we'd have to crack open that can of worms, because if we start pulling that thread, we probably should. Who knows where it's going to end? But if we just take everything at face value,
fair enough.
Just what your name is on.
Yeah,
Kanye was definitely up there at that top level. So it's rare to have two of those in the same space like that.
I give him that. Okay,
so he could have definitely been that dude, and then just, for all intents and purposes, a freaking tractor trailer came and sideswiped him off the road. But what you said, Ant, is so important, because it's the grounding. understand it's difficult for the regular everyday person, the average Joe, average Jane, to deal with mental illness of that sort. It's difficult. There's a lot of issues that come with it. First off, there's getting the person to treatment if it's required, if it's severe enough. Most people who are dealing with the kind of things I suspect that Kanye is dealing with, it calls for some serious medicine. We're talking like lithium and those different kinds of things, whatever. And a lot of those people hate to be on the medication, and they'll describe it the same way. It's like you're drowning. It's like being underwater. They don't feel like themselves. They feel lifeless. It can really be a very debilitating. Sometimes for those people, the treatment is arguably just as bad as the condition itself. You don't want to lash out. You don't want to say the wrong things. You don't want to hurt people, but you also don't want to feel like you're trapped in this nightmare on top of that. So for a lot of them, it's flipping a coin. And it really comes down to your loved ones to make sure that you stay on track and keep you locked into your treatment program. That's the regular everyday person. Now imagine you're this high-level celebrity who's been able to not just touch millions, but be able to reach billionaire status now. Who's going to tell you what to do?
Yeah, it's crazy.
You literally you on some Roman emperor type stuff. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You're hired, you're fired. Completely cut off. So you don't want to piss this person off. You don't want to get them upset. You want to stay in their good graces. We see the average celebrity that doesn't have a mental head case issue have difficulty touching the ground.
Yeah.
A lot of the way they see the world, the perception, how life is for them is so different and so far removed from the average person. They seem very out of touch. So you're already in that space. You're mentally ill. And on top of that, I'm glad you also mentioned that because that's important, Ed. The person who did the most to keep you in touch with reality, your mother, she was your rock. She was the person who served in that capacity for you. She's gone. And you have this guilt on your chest about being responsible, being at least related to the reason why she's no longer here. That's a huge boulder to carry on your back.
It's a lot.
I really wish that, someone was able to go ahead and pull Kanye by his coat strings, but if it can't be done, this is what you're looking at. So I don't think he's acting. I think you're really seeing someone who has a perfect storm of unhinged going on in their life.
Yeah, I hear you. I think that maybe this is the reason why I say consistently that I don't believe him is because it's always very convenient when he has these outbursts. It's always when an album is coming out. It's always when he's releasing a new shoe. It's always, it's not convincing to me. But if y'all believe it, then hey, I can understand that as well. I can understand.
None of us, Ant isn't, and I'm not. We're not mental health practitioners.
Right. None of us are. Right.
And even if we were, any mental health practitioner that can be trusted, that's worth their weight in anything, will tell you that even if they're observing their behavior and saying stuff, the most they could do is make an educated assessment, because they would not be able to properly diagnose him unless they actually were to sit down there with him and run their test of criteria and test before him to see where he is. Observing from a distance and certain clips, it's not even constant evaluation. You can't properly make that kind of diagnosis. So we're definitely not equipped, but just based on what we've seen and observed, this is how it appears to us. So
at any rate, I just hope he gets some damn help.
Yeah,
this is ridiculous. He's destroying his legacy and himself. So it's all good. We pray for the brother and we wish him well. I want to move into this other character here too.
Before you get into that, it is documented that he sat down with a clinical, because you remember when he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2016 after being hospitalized for something else, for psychiatric emergency. So yeah, he did. That's why I said. That's why I told you he was clinically under that. So that's how I know for a fact he has that. That's how I found out he was bipolar disorder, because of that.
Respectfully, Kanye can tell us anything. I still don't believe it. I'm sorry. Once you had a person who's giving you so much bullshit, it's hard to believe them. He may be telling the truth, but he can tell us anything. We don't know that. But again, I respect the school of thought. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these celebrities, they will just kind of say anything, just to get people off their ass or whatever, or just to give them an excuse to act out. And unfortunately, Kanye has burned too many bridges in terms of it's like Dr. Umar, unfortunately. You know, a lot of people don't believe him when he talks now because he's lied so much. And Kanye's in that same conversation for me. So it is what it is.
That's why I said when he was diagnosed with it, because it came out in the reports, he's a high profile person. So they had released it because he was in an emergency evaluation. I don't know what legal form that they had that they released it, but they were able to release it to the public. He turned around and said, they're lying. They misdiagnosed me. I don't have bipolar. So he's saying that he's normal. The clinical people are saying that he's bipolar. So that's
well, he's also said though, but he also said that he was bipolar at one point. He also did say that as well. So it's Kanye, man. I pray for the brother. I hear you. You know what I'm saying? I pray for the brother. I hope he gets the help he needs. But thanks for the intel, though. Conversations 2020.